I am not elderly. I am not elderly. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, you all know I'm 62 years old. Well, something I'm not sure how accurate this is, but I heard people who are in their 60s are often considered elderly. Oh my gosh, I am not elderly. So let me tell you my little story. I had this appointment a little while back, and so they took me to like a little room where you sit and all that kind of stuff and wait. And so they called my name and I stood up and they said, "No, we're looking for an elderly woman." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I looked around and they said, "We're looking for Diana." I said, "Well, I'm Diana." They said, "No, we're looking for an elderly woman. You're too young." I said, "Wait a minute. What do you mean?" They said, "Well, she's 62 years old." I said, "I'm 62 years old and I'm not elderly." They said, "Well, you look like you're in your 30s. You don't look like you're in your 60s. I said, "Look, I can outrun most 30 years old. I'm out there every day, 5 miles a day. I go to the gym and work out 3 hours a day. I go to college at age 62, and I'm taking more than a full load of college courses. I am extremely active. I just had my eyes examined, and I have almost 20/20. It was 20/25, so just a little bit off, but pretty close to 20/20, which without glasses. And so that's pretty incredible at 62 years old. Even though I wear glasses for reading, it makes it easier, but I really don't have to wear them, but I wear them anyhow when I'm reading. And so, yeah, when did 62-year-old people become elderly? I don't even think they should call 80-year-old people elderly. I think elderly should be reserved for people who are really in bad shape, rather than, I think when you label people elderly, you get this whole picture. So in other words, when I went to that office, they were looking for an elderly person. They had already put a picture in their mind of what an elderly person should be, and that 62-year-old people are elderly. I am not elderly. Okay, I don't even like the word senior citizen, to be honest, although I keep getting these AARP, AARP, to join AARP, which I think is a great organization. I started getting those when I was like 50. I mean, nothing will make you feel older than getting AARP advertisements, but I think AARP is a great group. And yet, oh my gosh, I don't believe in labeling people because it puts people in a box. And I think people who label other people are doing it for their benefit so that they can put someone in a box and can quickly understand them. But that's not right. When we put people in a box and label them with any kind of label, all of a sudden we have this preconception of what they're about and who they are. And I am not elderly. I will tell you that right now. I'm 29 forever. From my house to yours, may God bless you. And I'll talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. The Sauerkraut Factory. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, this is a short story from my life, just a little short story I thought I would throw in there. When my kids were very little, my husband traveled a lot, and sometimes he was gone for weeks to even months at a time for his job. And one time he was gone several months, and my kids were little. And, children, when they're small, don't understand when a parent is gone. They just don't understand it, no matter how much you explain to them. And even no matter how much they really say that they understand. I don't believe that they really fully grasp it and understand it. And so I knew my husband was coming in, and I didn't quite tell my children yet because we weren't really certain if he would be in. And so I had this big white expedition with 3 rows of seats, and my kids were probably 4, 5, and 6. And we were actually on our way over to pick up my husband, but the kids didn't know it. And so I told them, I said, because I wasn't even sure if he was going to make it, and I didn't want to disappoint them. So I told them we were going to the Sauerkraut factory. And they said, Sauerkraut factory, yuck. I said, well, we're going to the Sauerkraut factory and get some sauerkraut. So we drove over to where my husband would arrive at, and we kind of waited out there. And my kids said, well, where's the sauerkraut? Where's the Sauerkraut factory? And I said, well, it should be here soon. And then opened up the doors, and my husband came out. And oh my gosh, my kids were so excited, so thrilled, so happy beyond belief. And they, to this very day, remember the Sauerkraut factory. And they love that story. They'll often say, even as adults, Mom, remember the Sauerkraut factory? Dreams do come true. From my house to yours, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. And yes, my kids were thrilled to see my husband, even though it wasn't the Sauerkraut factory. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. People really don't want a divorce. I don't think most people want a divorce. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. And normally I come on here and I talk about very lighthearted topics, very lighthearted subjects, a can-do spirit, achieving your goals and everything like that. But now and then I will come on here and talk about something that's a little bit more sad or a little bit more serious. And so today I'm coming on here talking about the subject of divorce. And for me, I've seen too many people throw in the towel way before they should, and perhaps should never have thrown in the towel. And yes, I do think in some cases divorce is necessary. It's something that should happen. Maybe it just there's a situation that can never be worked out. I got that. And yet I don't think that's the case most of the time. I think when people got married and they loved each other and they went into that marriage with the best of intentions, I think in most cases, given some time, and right advice and right information, I think most people can work through their difficulties and their challenges. And I think most people don't want a divorce. I think even the people that go through with a divorce, I think honestly in their hearts, for most of them, they don't want it. And they wish in some way they could have worked through it or worked it out. A lot of times one spouse will go to another spouse and say, I want a divorce. But you know what? I think even in those cases, often they really want to hear the other spouse say, no, I don't want a divorce, and really mean it and hold on to the marriage in the right way to the best of their ability. I think that is the case in many cases, but I think that people get their emotions in it and they get upset and they get hurt and they get crushed, and it's understandable. And so they say, yeah, I don't want anything else to do with that person. I'll just go ahead and get a divorce. And it's kind of a divorce based upon emotion. And then years later or time later, they look back and they say, oh gosh, I wish I would have never gotten that divorce. It messed up our family. It messed up our friendships with other people. It messed up our own life. It messed up our finances. And we could have had a great marriage had we just stuck to it. I think all long-term marriages go through difficult times. I do. I believe that. Now, these are only my viewpoints and only my opinions and how I live my life. And I don't impress upon anyone else how to live their life. But I just believe that in many cases, if not most cases, people don't want a divorce. They don't want to go through with a divorce. They want to somehow figure it out, even where people have broken trust. Sometimes they still want to work through that. You know, their marriage going forward may not look like their old marriage, but sometimes put back together right, sometimes marriages end up flourishing in a new way. And so I think sometimes when things break, some things can be fixed. And usually it's a process. There's healing, there's forgiveness, there's all kinds of things that have to go in there, and those things take time. But a person has to have the willingness to hang in there. They have to have the willingness and desire. And ultimately, it's got to come from both people. It's just not one person. But sometimes it takes one person to say, I want to hold on. I want to do what we can to keep this marriage. I want to do what we can to make this marriage work. I think a lot of people go through times that are difficult within their own person, their own self, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the other person, but the fallout from what they're going through affects the marriage, it affects the relationship. And I think too many people throw in that towel, and I think that marriage is not always easy, and a lot of people think it should be, or they fall out of love. Love changes through marriage, and you have that hot passion when you first meet each other, and that kind of gradually calms. But that calming is a good thing. It's replaced with a solid relationship of creating memories together, great times together, friendship together. It creates all kinds of things. But marriage takes work. It takes time. It takes investment. It takes forgiveness. It takes love, and it takes the willingness to hang in there when times get tough. I just personally think too many people throw in the towel when that marriage could have been saved and could have worked out. And it's sad. It's sad. I've seen friends get divorces, and then years later they regret it. They regret it. And by that time, it's much harder to go back together. Sometimes some people do. I met a couple, and I met this one couple, and they were separated. And I don't know to what degree they were going to get a divorce, but they were trying to sell their house, and they couldn't sell it. And I didn't know these people. I'd never talked to them, but I ran into the husband one day, and he recognized me, and I said, you know what? I want to tell you that your house will not sell until you both go back together. And they went back together, and very shortly after that, their house sold. And now they're very, very happy. They worked through things. They were willing to come together and work through things. So I believe if you love somebody and somebody loves you, never give up hope, and hopefully that relationship can be restored. Like I said, these are only my views on how I see the world. It's never advice, never suggestions, never really information. It's just my views on the world. And so my view on the world is I don't think most people want a divorce. Okay, well, I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope to talk to you all soon again. So from my house to yours, God bless you, and I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye. And there goes my cuckoo clock. Be careful what you say to yourself. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. Self-talk. I am amazed what people murmur to themselves, the words that they say to themselves, the thought processes that go through their mind, how much negativity fills people's words and fills their minds up. How we talk to ourselves can influence our behavior, and it can influence the outcome and the results of what we want to achieve or what we want to avoid. And so for me, I make sure that my self-talk, my self-talk is very, very positive. How I speak to myself, how I talk to myself about a problem, a challenge, a difficulty, a dream, a vision, another person, a relationship, anything to do with my life or the people around me. I'm very cognizant about the words I use, even if I just think them, even if I don't voice them, what goes through my mind. Sometimes I have to reframe what it is that I'm thinking so that it is in a positive way and directed in a positive way. Because our mind tends to go in the direction that we talk ourselves into. So if we go, oh, it's just such a lousy day, we begin to play that part of a lousy day. Whereas if we begin to say, it's a beautiful day and I feel great and I've got so much energy and I'm just going to do so many wonderful things today, we begin to play that part as well. It all has to do with self-talk. It starts with self-talk. It starts with what we feed our minds and how we talk to our minds and how our minds talk to us. So I believe in using positive self-talk at all levels of our lives, about my relationships, about the outcome of a problem, about my dreams and my visions and my goals. I hear some people say, oh, my finances are so bad. But there's nothing in there about making them good. Instead, they could reframe that and say, you know what? I may be having some difficulty right now, but I'm going to get my self together with my finances and I'm going to do a great job. And before I know it, I will be doing wonderful financially. Someone could say, well, my relationship, it's just got a lot of problems. Or you could say, you know what? I have this great relationship that I'm going to work on and make it even better. See how that self-talk points us in a different direction? One points us in a negative direction to create more negativity. One points us in a positive direction to create more positivity. And so I believe in speaking positive self-talk. Talk positive words and positive thoughts to ourselves. From my house to yours, may God bless you. And I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. Apologies and change. I don't want apologies. I want change. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. I believe that sometimes people come to us and they apologize and apologize. And at the moment they're sincere, or maybe not sincere, but they're apologizing anyhow. But they never back it up with change. And then they come to us again and apologize again. Well, my motto for my life, I just simply tell people, I don't want an apology. I want change. Permanent change, consistent change, and then I'll let you back into my life. And perhaps we'll see. And, a lot of people just make empty promises, empty apologies. An empty apology is just simply one that is not backed up with any kind of positive change. And the people around me know that. I'm a very forgiving person. I forgive before the offense ever took place. And yet that doesn't mean that I allow someone back into my life. I have to know that that person's not going to do that again, and that they're on the right road, that they're making the changes that are necessary. I've told people in my life, I've told them, hey, you come back to me in a year when I've seen consistent positive change and turnaround, and then we'll talk about a relationship. But I've seen it too many times where the behavior went over and over and they apologized, empty apologies, no change backed it up, or maybe they changed for a day and then they reverted. So no, I don't do that. I don't do that at all. I expect change linked to that apology. That makes it a sincere apology. Just because someone apologizes to me does not mean I necessarily let them back into my life up close and personal at any level until I realize that they have actually backed it up with consistent positive change. And so everyone is different. And if it's just a little thing where someone had a bad day or an off day, of course I'm not going to make them wait a year. That's excessive. I'm talking about if it was a really consistent long-term negative behavior, that would be the way I did it. I don't give suggestions. I don't give ideas. I don't give advice. This is just how I live life and how I deal with situations. If I were to deal with a minor, someone did something stupid and it wasn't a big thing and they said, I'm sorry, I would say, okay, I accept your apology, but I expect it never to happen again. Now, if it happened again, then I'm going to back up and I'm going to say, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to give you some space right now because, your behavior was not backed up with change and you did it again. And then if I gave them space and, they said, and after a while they said, okay, it's all good. And then they came back in and did it again. Well, the time is going to get longer and longer between the time that I'm going to reconnect with them and they're going to know it. I'm very direct. I don't believe in hiding what I'm feeling for the most part. Now, we have to understand that just because something is truthful doesn't mean that we necessarily need to say it. So I don't say everything I'm thinking or everything that I believe. I am very selective in what I say, and yet it's truthful. And so if it's a situation where someone's not being nice and it's been consistent, it's been long-term, I most certainly will tell them, hey, I feel that you need to back this up with positive change. Well, you need to back this up with positive change before I'm going to let you back up close and personal in my life. Apologies that are empty are apologies that are not backed up with any kind of change. They just continue right down the same road. They figure you're going to accept the apology and then they can go back to bad behavior. And that doesn't work with me. And so I expect positive change to back up that apology. And that's just how I look at it. Apologies and change. From my house to yours, may God bless you. And we are having a beautiful day out on Grandma's porch. You all know this is Grandma's porch out here. Come sit with me and we'll chat. From my house to yours, may God bless you. And I'll talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. I love being at home. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. I love my home. I love being at home. I've always been sort of a homebody, even when I had a one-bedroom apartment years ago. There's something about being home that is special to me. Growing up, my grandmother, she was at home most of the time. She was either in her little kitchen, her living room, sometimes her bedroom, her front porch, or her back porch. She had a little tiny house out in the country by the railroad tracks, and it was so warm and so cozy. And so I think that I got that from my grandmother. And throughout my life, my home has been my retreat. It's been where I go to rest, recharge, relax, refuel. I have a beautiful family, and so I like being home to share my home with them. We sit down to dinner together. Sometimes we'll watch a good show or a good movie together. Sometimes we'll even read to each other, like a good book or a good story. And sometimes we'll play board games. But I love being at home. I love each room of my home. Sometimes I just go in my bedroom and I sit on my bed with a cup of tea or read a good book or take a bubble bath in my bathroom. I love to cook in my kitchen, and I also paint in my kitchen. I'm an artist. And, I have many projects going on that require me to be home rather than out and about. If I'm going to paint a painting, obviously, I'm going to be at home to do it. But I love, love, love being at home. And, I think a lot of people feel obligated to be out and about and doing something, going here, going there, going to one party after another, going to a movie, going out to eat. But sometimes just staying home can be absolutely amazing and wonderful. I remember when my husband and I were first married many years ago, and I used to say to him on the weekends, honey, I just want to stay home and enjoy your company. And we did. When we moved to Europe, before we started traveling, we didn't really know our way around, and we were a little bit uncomfortable getting out on some of the roads over there because it was all new to us. So we stayed home on the weekends, and often we played Scrabble or Monopoly, and we used to watch television on this little black and white television that we had, and we didn't understand the language, but yet we enjoyed it. So many people work so hard for their home, and yet they're never home to enjoy it. And for me, my favorite place to be is home. I love my home. Well, I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and I hope to talk to you all soon, and I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So from my home to your home, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. Old television shows. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. I don't know about you, but I like the old television shows, the shows from the past. I actually like 1950s television shows. They seem to not be so complicated, and they usually had a good storyline with them. Whereas today's television is just so out there. It's not so much about storylines, in my opinion, as it is about shock value. And so I don't watch much TV. And when I do watch something that's more entertainment, I tend to go for old television movies that I usually find on YouTube. I watched one the other night. It was about the Titanic, and it was made in the early 1950s or late 1940s. And I think it was Kraft Theater, or one of those kind of theaters. And it was black and white. And it was so wonderful. It was better than any of the big blockbuster movies. And it was just a simple black and white hour-long television show from the 40s or 50s. I don't think it was the 60s, so it was black and white. I think it was from, the 40s or 50s, and it was wonderful. It was, it didn't have elaborate scenery, but, sometimes storylines well written can capture a person's attention so much more than shock value. And I'm not into shock value. I'm into storylines. And I love great comedies. I love old-time comedies like The Honeymooners. I love, love, love The Honeymooners. When I was little, I had this babysitter, Irene and Charles, and they would they were like family to me, and they were wonderful. They were older people. He smoked big old cigars and chewed tobacco. They had an old Rambler station wagon, and they used to take me around like I was their child, My mom was in nursing school, so she would drop me off there in the morning. And Irene and I would dance in her big old grandma shoes to Petula Clark's Downtown. I always remember that. And so we used to watch The Honeymooners together, and I would fall asleep in the chair. And I was like 6 years old, and I would fall asleep, and then they would put me to bed. But whenever The Honeymooners came on, it gives me just such a good feeling, one of the wonderful feelings in my life. And Irene and Charles, they were wonderful, wonderful people. They used to have a little dog named Pee-wee, and it used to bark all the time. And they sold like soap products, and we would go from place to place in their old green Rambler station wagon, and we would deliver soap products. And so, and then Irene developed dementia, and Charles got sick. And it was heartbreaking for me because I lost somebody that was really important in my life. They were like grandparents to me, although I had wonderful grandparents too. And but I always remember watching those old TV shows with them. Maybe that's part of the reason I love old soap operas, old TV shows, even old books. I love old books. I read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Wonderful movie. You can get that on YouTube for free. And fantastic book. Loved, loved, loved the book. And there's so many great old movies on YouTube, on the internet, that you can rent. I just love movies with a great storyline. And in our little downtown one movie theater, they really show great movies there. They're not like all the action features. They're more just simple movies. So, I love old TV shows. What about you? Well, I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope to talk to you soon. So from my house to yours, God bless you, and rock on. I love old things, antiques, my 1950s phonograph, and my old Victrolas. My antique Victrolas 1950s phonograph with records, and it works. And over here is my little brass box that I got, and it's well over 100 years old, and I just got it today, both of those. And over here, my little 1919 phonograph that works. Okay, let's see who that is. Uh-oh, that's my son, Marshall.
Hey, Mom, I brought you home some salad.
Oh, you are so wonderful. My son loves to bring me salads, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, let's go have our salad. My antique phonographs. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, today I went out to my favorite place I call the junk store. Now, it's really not a junk store, okay? It is a treasure shop, in my opinion. But growing up, we called them junk stores. So I lovingly keep that tradition and I call them junk stores. They're like thrift shops. And this one is probably the best I've ever been to because they have antiques. And I never know what I'm going to get when I go there. I never know. It could be an old-fashioned coffee pot, or it could be an antique, or it could be something else. And I used to go every day. And now because of my busy schedule, I'm lucky to probably get there once a month. And yet I went over today because I wanted to say hi to all of my friends over there before school started on Monday. My college, going back to college at age 62. And so I know I'll get really busy and probably will not be able to get there very often. So anyhow, as I walk in the door, there is this 1950s phonograph that works. And it didn't have a needle though. And it was $25, which is a complete bargain. And so I bought it. And they also had this little brass box. It's well over 100 years old, I'm assuming. And I gotta, find out the dates exactly, but I don't know yet. And so I bought that too. And I was so excited because I love antiques. And I bought, years ago, I bought a 1922 Victrola that cranks, and I showed you that in another video. And I have a 1919 one also. They both work beautifully. And the thing about them is that after I bought them, I found out what year, the lady told me what year they were. And the 1919 was the same year my father was born. And the 1922 was the same year my mother was born. How amazing is that? So I bought those when my children were little. And slowly I've collected antiques throughout the years. And I have antique grandfather clocks that are well over 100 years old. I have 4 of those, and I just love those. And they dong in the background, and you'll often hear in my videos the clocks going off. And I always say I'm going to be like the old lady in the Twilight Zone and peeping out my window with all my antiques. And so I was so excited, and so I lovingly go to this place, and all the proceeds there go to the local community. So it's all for a great cause. And they keep their prices low, and that's amazing. I mean, it's just an amazing place. So I'm very blessed to have a place like that to go and occasionally find a wonderful antique. So yeah, I love to collect antiques. I don't know what got me started on that. I just love old things. I love old TVs, although I don't have any old TVs right now. But, I always say I want like a 1950s television, and I want one of those old stoves, those, stoves that used to work with gas, and it had the side compartment to it, like 1920s. And so, yeah, I'm excited. And I'm going to walk you around again, but the issue is when I walk around, I still haven't figured out how to get my camera so that it doesn't make noise in the background. So just bear with me when I walk around because I want to show you the record players again, okay? And I'm going to kind of splice into this video you know, the record player and the little box and the old Victrolas, but I'm going to walk around and make some noise. Okay, so let's make some noise here. But we are going to go over here, and I want to replay this record for you over here. Can you see the old Victrola? Can you see it? And then the old telephone I have over here. It's probably early 1900, and so I'm going to crank this up real quick, and let's see what we got. Okay, what happened to the thing here? There we go. Okay, so you never know when I'm doing a video. I'm not an expert video maker, but I have fun. I have fun. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Here we go. Here we go. And I have 250 records.
On the hillside and side in the street, if you try, you'll find me where the sky meets the sea. Here am I, your special island.
The records down here.
Come to me,
And I'm going to walk you into the other room here again with all my jiggly camera. And I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really working at building my subscribership up, and I would love it if you subscribed. So over here is the 1950s, and it has Sesame Street records on it and Peter Pan records. I mean, I just love, love, love it. And my kids loved Sesame Street when they were little. And over here is the little brass box. Yeah, just wonderful. And over here, the little 1919 phonograph that works, the year my father was born. And I just love, love, love what I got today. And so I'm excited. 1950s. You know, I told you the story about the little red record player, and that's another video about 5 or 6 videos back. And when I was 5 years old, and then I eventually lost it. And so I feel like God just blessed me back today with this old phonograph that works and kind of taking the place, in a sense, of the little red record player. Well, I just wanted to come on here today and share with you that these old time antiques, phonographs, record players, and you all know I have the grandfather clocks, and those are well over 100 years old. So you'll hear them donging in the background. And so anyhow, yeah, that's my day. And now I'm getting ready to go for my 5-mile run. It's a little chilly outside, a little gray, but that's okay. Do my run, come back. And I don't know if I'm going to go to the gym tonight or not. I think this is kind of date night for my husband and I. Anyhow, I wish you all a great day, a great week. Make sure to subscribe, please. And I hope to talk to you all soon. From my house to yours, God bless you. Talk to you then. Bye-bye. Having lunch with my son Marshall, he picked us up some wonderful McDonald's salads. Now, I don't eat the chicken, but he ends up with the chicken. But he's so good. Thank you, Marshall.
You're welcome. Mom.
Let's have lunch. I love to drink water. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne, and you are looking at a gallon-sized jug of water. And yes, I drink about one of those a day, and I have for many, many years. I grew up on spring water and well water, and I absolutely love spring water or well water. I mostly drink spring water or purified water of some kind, but I drink a lot of spring water because, well, that's what I grew up on. My grandmother had a well, and it sort of had a good aftertaste, if that makes sense. And I miss that well water. I so miss it. She lived out in the country in a little house, and they had a well, and it went into the kitchen sink. And every time I went down there, I would fill up bottles to take home with me of her well water. So I love water. I'm a big water drinker. I don't drink sodas. The only time I ever have like a ginger ale or something is if I were not to feel good, like an upset stomach. But other than that, I don't drink any kind of sodas. I do drink coffee and I do drink tea. Okay, but my primary beverage is water. I love, love, love water. At 62 years old, people have always commented, you have great skin. And I only had a little bit of acne when I was 19, and I was in college and eating all the greasy foods and all the stress of being in college, and so I broke out. But that was just a short time. Otherwise, I always had clear skin. And I really attribute that, I believe it was to water. I just drank a lot of water. And I have all along. And I don't know what exactly the benefits of water are, but I do feel like there's a lot of benefits to drinking water and the right amounts of water. So for me, it's roughly around a gallon a day, but everybody's different and everybody has different needs. So that is what works well for me. So yeah, that's what I drink, you know. So today I went to the gym and I just got back. I did my hour workout. Normally it's about a 3-hour workout, but with the holidays and everything, I did a little bit, not as intensive of a workout. I did an hour on the elliptical and some of the machines. And normally I run in the morning. I normally do a 5-mile run. And then I go to the gym later, usually about 4 o'clock, and I do the elliptical. Sometimes I do 2 aerobic classes, sometimes just 1, and the machines, and other times I do the swimming pool. So I don't necessarily do them all one sitting or one time, but sometimes I do. And so I love to work out. And I find that at 62 years old, a lot of people that I know in my age group are kind of falling apart. And I don't want that to happen to me if it doesn't have to happen. So I do everything I can to take care of me by eating healthy, what I consider to be healthy eating. I try to stay away from refined sugars. I am vegan, not saying that, you know, a person needs to be vegan to be healthy. It's just my choice. I'm a vegan. I don't do dairy or meat. Now, over the holidays, I was a bad vegan and I did eat some sugar because, well, you know, there was a lot of wonderful, wonderful Christmas foods. And there's times that, like, if we go out or if we're invited over to dinner and they're serving something that's not vegan, I generally will eat it, or at least eat some of it. And so I'm not so hardcore vegan that I can't have a little bit of it now and then, but at home I don't. At home I'm, you know, pretty strict about what I eat, and that's usually where most of my food comes from. So yeah, so I believe in healthy eating. I believe in rest, sleep. I believe in sleep. I think sleep is so important, the right amounts of sleep. And I think most people probably either don't get enough sleep or the right kind of sleep. And that's my opinion. So yeah, sleep's another one. And let's see, water. And keeping a great attitude. I think a great attitude is essential to great health and to great relationships and a great life. So yeah, well, I just wanted to touch base and share with you what I drink. I drink water. From my house to yours. God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Stop rushing for other people. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne, and I just finished my 5-mile run, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous day out here today. I actually wore shorts I wore shorts and a t-shirt to go running in and loved, loved, loved it. Well, I want to talk about rushing today, and I've talked about it before, but this is with a twist. Don't rush for other people. You know, often the people that rush us the most are ourselves. We rush ourselves. We put demands and expectations and sometimes overload ourselves to the point that we feel that we have to rush to accomplish it. I often say rushing is simply a life out of alignment. And so if rushing is a lifestyle, it often meets up with mistakes, errors in judgment, overlooking things, sloppiness, and so much more. And as often, other people can rush us too. They can hurry us up. And I don't like to be hurried up. And I think there are only isolated situations where we actually should rush or need to rush. And those are far and few between. So for me, I don't rush. And I remember many years ago, someone invited me to dinner, except they didn't give me any notice. And they said, hurry up, we're due there in 15 minutes. And I was trying to please them. And so I rushed. And I fell down 2 steps and up 2 steps. There were 2 steps down, 2 steps up. And I hurt myself. I was so bruised up on my ankle area and part of my leg and foot. And the bruises didn't go away for quite a while, all because I was rushing and rushing for someone else. So I learned a long time ago not to rush for my own self, and not to rush for other people, because often when that happens, we can make mistakes. And so I've learned to take my time, the right amount of time. I don't go too slow or too fast. I go just right. And like I said, there's very few times in life that we have to rush as a whole. And so if we create a lifestyle of rushing, especially rushing for other people, we can mess up, and I don't want to do that. So I don't rush, okay? From my beautiful day to yours, may God bless you. And I hope to talk to you soon again. And I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll show you my day one more time. Isn't it beautiful? Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. I will figure it out as I go. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, we are having a gorgeous, beautiful day out today. It's hard for me to believe that it is winter. I'm getting ready to go for my 5-mile run, which I do daily. I either do a power walk, a run, a full-out run, or a combination of both. But I do it almost every day, unless I am so busy that I can't get to it, or unless the weather is really, really bad. But even then, I often get out there and do my run. So I got to thinking today about I will figure it out as I go. And the reason that topic came up to me is, well, as many of you know, at 62 years old, I have started back to college. I actually started back to college last semester and did really well. And starting next week, I am going back for my 2nd semester, and I'm taking more than a full load of courses, some which are very advanced for me. And so I have a little bit of apprehension, a little bit of ambivalence, but I think that's very normal when we are delving into something new. Even though I did start back last semester, all of these classes are very new classes for me, things that I know nothing about. Or very little about. And I'm excited, but I'm a little apprehensive because, well, I'm thinking, wow, you know, it's a lot that I'm taking on. I'm also a little bit ambivalent. And I think that's normal too, because I'm taking a lot of classes, a lot more than I did last semester. Well, the reason for that is I ended up with a scholarship. Yes, at 62 years old, and it's a full scholarship, and so I want to max it out. And so part of maxing it out in a good way is I have to take a certain amount of in-person classes and a certain amount of online classes, and a combination of both. And so, yeah, I'm a little ambivalent. I'm thinking, what am I doing at 62 years old, getting out here and working at going to college with 25-year-olds? But I'm excited. I'm an eternal learner. And you know what? I'll figure it out as I go. My daddy used to say, it'll all work out. And he was right. And so I keep that philosophy in my life. It will all work out. I will take it as it comes, and I'll figure it out as I go. And so, starting all these new classes, learning new teachers, learning where the classroom is, driving back and forth, I will figure it out as I go. I believe in myself that I will make it happen. I think when we set a goal, a vision, a dream for ourselves, and it's right for our lives, and we truly put our heart and soul into it, I believe it usually will come out right. Because if we are willing to stick with it and make it happen, we'll have some obstacles, challenges. I know last semester I had to figure out the pop-up blocker. I couldn't get onto my classes because so much of it is done online, even when it's done in person. And I had problems with pop-up blockers. And I had to call one of the companies who sponsored that class through the college to figure out how to get rid of the pop-up blocker so I could access the courses that I needed. So I'll probably have those kind of obstacles and challenges and things come up, but I'll just hang in there. And that takes me to another story. Good old John. Well, good old John was somebody that I knew from years ago. And he was in a career along with several others that I knew. And as time went on, all the others kind of dropped off because this career was kind of crazy and it always had issues and problems and challenges. But good old John, he hung in there. He just hung in there. And he took it as it came. He figured it out as he went. And he just hung in there when others did not hang in there. And so for me, that has been my philosophy in life. Just hang in there when it's right for my life. Now, if it's not right for my life, I don't hang in there. But if it's right for my life, I hang in there. I just keep going. And so I'll figure it out as I go. And a lot of times in life, we have to figure things out as we go. And there will be challenges. And I have no doubt that I'll have challenges in this semester, whether it's related to my classes or, I get busy with something else and I'm trying to balance everything. But I'll just take it slow. I'll take it easy. I'll stay focused and I'll probably get to where I want to go. Well, I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I better get outside and get running. Have a great day. Love to all of you, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope to talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. If you put me on hold, I may hang up on you. If you put me on hold, I may hang up on you. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. I got to thinking about when we get put on hold on the telephone. I don't like to be put on hold unless it's something really, really important. I understand sometimes people have to put somebody on hold. I got that, especially when I had small children. Often people had to call me at my convenience, and often it was never convenient. So often my phone calls would get interrupted and I'd have to say, just hold on a moment. That was a lot different. I understand those kind of phone calls and being put on hold, and I tend to be very patient with people like that. When I call up to make an appointment, sometimes I'll say, oh, can I put you on hold for a moment? And often I say, oh, I just have a quick question. And that way they don't put me on hold. Sometimes I will hold. It just depends. But if I'm having a conversation with somebody and they're just distracted and they're, checking the TV or checking another phone call or whatever, sometimes I'll just hang up and wait for them to call back at a more convenient time, because it's making me less important than whatever they're going to or whatever they're focused on. Some people are just distractible, and I don't like to be in conversations with people that are constantly distracted over frivolous things. I got it. If it's something important, I've got it. I will hold on and I will wait for you. But if you're just being frivolous, oh, another friend is calling me. Hold on. Well, that other friend is more important than me. So I'll hang up and you can call me back after you've had that conversation. And if I'm available, I'll talk to you. But I don't like being put on hold because it's taking up my time. So granted, there are situations that I will wait and be on hold for, but most I will not. If you put me on hold for a frivolous reason, I'm probably going to hang up. And like I said, you can call me back later and I may or may not answer depending on what I'm doing. I like to make people a priority when I'm talking to them. And so what I tend to do is, so that I don't have a lot of interruptions, I tend to set aside a specific time for that person. I will even go as far as letting them know how long I can talk with them. And that way we know the limit of the conversation, we can get it all in. And I don't like to rush people. At the same time, I don't like to put people on hold if I don't have to. Granted, if something really important comes up, then I may have to put them on hold. And I would hope that they would wait, but if they didn't, I understand. I'll call them back later. But constantly putting people on hold, saying, oh, hold on a minute, I want to talk to my friend or whatever. You know what? That's making me a non-priority. And so you can just call me back later. From my beautiful day to yours, from Grandma's porch to yours, may God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. Get started, motivate yourself. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. I got to thinking about getting started and motivating yourself. So many people just go, oh, I just wish I could get started. Well, then just get started. Take one step and put it in front of the other and get started and build your momentum. So many people wait for other people to motivate them. I'm my greatest motivator. When I get up in the morning, I put my running shoes on and I get ready and I head out on the running trail, whether I feel like it or not. I'm 62 years old. I don't know many 62-year-olds that do that, but I motivate my own self. There's a payoff for me getting out there and being fit every day. First of all, I feel good. Second of all, it promotes good health in my opinion. And third of all, I feel that I look better. And fourth of all, I love being outdoors. And so I really got to thinking about motivating ourselves and not waiting around for other people to motivate us. So many people live their life in a state of boredom. They say, oh, I wish I will one of these days, one of these days. Well, when does one of these days come? Okay, when does one of these days come? Today is the day to motivate yourself, in my opinion. I motivate myself. I don't wait for my kids to motivate me. I don't wait for my husband to motivate me. I don't wait for my neighbors to motivate me. Or if I was on a job, my coworkers to motivate me. I want to be excellent in the important areas of my life. I realize I can't be excellent at everything, and I only have so much time and energy. So I'm going to use that energy wisely, and I'm going to put that focus in the areas that I want to do excellence in. And so it's up to me to motivate myself. It's up to me to get me going. So get up, get going, get motivated. From my house to yours, may God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. Get up, get out there, get motivated. Impeachment. Wake me up when it's over. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, it's in the news everywhere. Impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. I was in the dentist office yesterday getting my teeth cleaned. I get my teeth cleaned every 3 months, and I love getting them cleaned. It's kind of a relaxing thing for me, and I love having perfectly clean teeth. So anyhow, I was in the dentist office, and the TV above was talking about the impeachment. And so then I went to the gym after, and guess what? Every single TV on at the gym was talking about impeachment. You know, I turned TV on, the news. I turned the radio on, impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. Wake me up when it's over. You know, I am politically, on my channel, my channel is politically neutral. I do not express my political views, and I'm not going to, because that's not what my channel is about. I have my political views, but I keep them to myself, and it's no one's business unless I choose to share it with them. And most people, I do not. And so my channel is politically neutral. And yet all of this impeachment news, it's just beyond me, because I want to stay focused on what's positive in my life. And to me, it's just, it goes over and over and over. And both sides, it's completely a negative thing. So it's just negativity. And so I don't watch much TV to begin with. And if I watch something, I want it to feed me, not take away from me. And I feel that all this impeachment news just drains my energy. And so I turn the TV off, I turn the radio off. I just don't want to hear it. It's not that I don't want to be informed, because I do stay on top of the news at some level. It's just that I don't want to hear it continuously. And that seems to be the case nowadays. So when the impeachment is over, wake me up, okay? From my house to yours, may God bless you. And I hope to talk to you soon again. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Bye-bye. If you want other people to invest in you, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne, and I got to thinking today about investing in yourself. If you want other people to invest in you, invest in yourself. I believe in investing in other people, and yet I believe it all starts with investing in myself. If I don't invest in myself, well, why would someone else want to invest in me? I believe the more we invest in ourselves, the more others are going to want to go along for the ride, so to speak. So I believe in taking care of our health, taking care of our finances, getting our education at whatever level we want, taking care of our careers, taking care of our relationships, taking care of our looks, taking care of our lives. And when we do that, we are so much more willing to invest in the right other people. Not everyone should we invest in, but the right people for our lives we should invest in. And so when we invest in another, we're giving them something from us. When they invest in us, they're giving us something from them. Often people think, well, if I just give myself away to everybody, but I'm a doormat and I don't need to do anything for myself, then people will want to help me. Usually not. People usually come to the help of other people when that other person, in their minds, is deserving of it. And people feel like they're making an investment, and they don't want to make an investment in a doormat or in a dead end. And so I believe in investing in who we are. I believe in taking care of our lives. I believe in nurturing our lives and making the most of our lives so that other people will want to come and invest in us as well. And likewise, we will invest in the right other people. We're not assigned to everybody in life. We're assigned to helping specific people. And sometimes it's hard to determine which people we should help and which people we should not. But often if we get involved in helping people people that we're not meant to help. We can mess up their situation, but also we can get ourselves so tied up into their situation that we lose sight of our own, and we lose sight of the people that we should be helping. So I'm a firm believer in being specific in who I help. I remember many years ago, a neighbor came to me and she said her husband was going to take off and be a missionary in another country. And, at first I thought, oh, wow, that sounds so noble. That sounds so wonderful. And then I got to thinking, wait a minute. He had a son who was having some physical problems. He had an elderly mother-in-law living with them. He had a lot of his, he had a family. And to up and leave his family, who I believe is his first assignment, was not the right thing, even though it may have sounded noble to go off and be a missionary somewhere else. I think that his first assignment was to his family. So we have to prioritize our giving. We have to prioritize who we really should be giving to first and foremost. Because if we kind of veer off and assign ourselves to people that we're not meant to be assigned to, no matter how noble that may sound, often we are taking our time, focus, and investment away from the people that mean the most and the people that we should be investing in. So remember, if you want someone to invest in you, invest in yourself first. From my house to yours, may God bless y'all, and I'll talk to y'all soon again. Bye-bye.